Hi, Susan. Hi, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Susan, I don't know if we can hear you. Maybe it's just me.
I can also
No, we
I can
can't hear.
hear Susan.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Now it works.
Okay. Thank you. It's this thing. Like I always forget to pull it down. Like you'll see yourself as unmuted, but because the physical device also needs to be physically unmuted, so I always get like in this state of like I thought I was on mic, but it wasn't on. Okay. But now people can hear me and see my screen fine.
It
Yes.
works perfect.
Thank you. Cool. So let's go through the PRs quickly, and then on the agenda, I've added one item to discuss 1.2 readiness. So mainly to checkpoint with Feynman if you have heard any feedback from any partners.
I have only
have
received. Yeah, I have only received the feedback from Ratify from Evan. He mentioned that the end-to-end tests from even from Ratify plugins and passed, and there are no potential issues to detect from his side. But for AWS side, I still didn't receive any response from their team.
I see. So from internal team side, we confirmed with Xinghe that he was able to submit a fix for the test to pass, and then he validated from his own branch that things look good from the image integrity side. So that's being checked off. And for ECR issue, security engineer from Rocket, ROKT, they have said the latest bits authentication was able to pass. They had a confirmation on the thread. So Feynman, do you think we will go with our original plan of releasing V1.2 maybe today?
I'm good with that. If the ECR users committed that now they validated that the ECR issue is now worked in their environment, I think I would be fine.
Yeah, thanks for confirming. Does anyone on the call have any concerns with the V1.2 release?
No, from my side.
Okay, thanks. We'll go ahead with the release after this call then.
And
cool. So have.
sorry to interrupt you, Suzanne.
Yeah, go ahead, Feynman.
I mentioned we may need to prepare for announcement blog post, and I created an issue last week. Josh mentioned that he will be able to working on the announcement blog post for Ratify v1.2. So I wanna also confirm with Josh that whether Josh you will be able to working on that this week, or you have very tight bandwidth recently.
No,
I
I
see
should be able
Josh
to start
joined.
that. Yeah, I could start. I plan on starting that tomorrow, so I should have at least some kind of a draft, and we can go back and forth on that. So, yeah, shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, sounds great.
Feynman, was that issue in the doc repo?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the website repo. And all
Is
of
that kind of
those,
as soon as you can type deadline, or is there an ideal time frame that you'd like that to be launched by, or?
I think ideally, the announcement blog post would be good to be announced within 1 week between the release date. So
Okay,
if
no
we
problem.
plan to cut the release today, I think it would be good to announce the blog post by next Wednesday or Thursday.
No problem.
Thank you for picking that up, Josh.
No problem. Welcome.
If you need any feature level context on what we shipped in 1.2, you can ping me or Akash. Akash also had a buddy test document that you'll be able to find all the installation steps, and also we have the walkthroughs in the documentation.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll send it through after this meeting.
Excellent. Appreciate it.
Cool. So looking at our PR list, 1503, cosign keyless support to for trust policies. I had a quick look yesterday. Akash, I haven't seen your comments yet. Wondering, Binbin, would you be able to take a look as well?
Yeah, I plan to take a look at today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, nothing major in this PR, Akash. Is there anything you want to discuss?
Yeah, there's nothing specific to this PR. Thanks for the feedback, Susan. I made some of those changes and pushed them already. Just one thing that I added in this PR was so the cosign CLI, when you perform verifications and they succeed, they output a human readable paragraph explaining exactly what verifications were performed. So I've added a summary section here so that a user, if they look at this, they can understand some of the different checks that were performed here. So that's just one, I guess, user addition here.
Yeah, thanks. And I also saw, I think you had a comment about maybe Notary could benefit from a summary on the validation performed as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was thought about before, but I found this pretty helpful for the cosign scenario.
E, do you have any feedback for the summary section that we're adding to the verification report?
This I mean the summary section, I mean for the whole extension section, so we can add additional section based on our needs, right? So this summary is a kind of some verbose information for the result, if I understood correct. So if it is successful, this summary will provide additional information for the success. And if it is a failure, so what will be like in the summary section?
Yeah, so currently this is only for a success scenario. And like you mentioned, this extension field is customizable depending on the scenario. But actually it would also, I think, be helpful, more helpful maybe, that in a failure scenario, it can tell you exactly what step it failed at. Like we verified the claims in the transparency log, but we failed to verify that the code signing certificate was verified from a trusted certificate. So something like that I feel like would be more useful, so the user can understand, okay, what actually went wrong in the verification.
Yeah. I think this is good because if we don't have this section, we only have the message, right? And the message could be limited by the length.
Yep.
I'm also thinking that maybe we can formally define the recommended field, I mean, for the extension part, so that it can be an interface that so if the user, they want to consume some more information, they can always rely on some section for certain purpose.
Yep, that makes sense.
So that the different verifier, they can share this, right? Share this common structure.
Yes, yeah, that's a good idea. I can look into that as well.
Um, the extension property itself, it's like I thought the intention is to stick in whatever extra additional information we want. But if summary is a good property for all the verifiers, maybe we can bring it up to the level, like, so currently we have under verifier report have subject is success, name and type. If we think summary could be available for all the verifier, we can take it out of extension, maybe, Akash? We do have an interface for verifier report, and we have versioning for that, right?
Yeah, if we feel like every verifier will benefit from this, we can do that.
Yep.
And I think that also ties into maybe applying the same approach for error messaging, right? If we're gonna work on improvements this cycle, but there's your stack trace level, nested level error verification, which helps you trace down where in the code maybe things went wrong, but that's not very human readable. So you could actually have like a separate error message or remediation section saying, here's what we think went wrong and what you can do to actually fix that at a per verifier level, where we can be more human readable and granular there. Just another idea.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for the feedback, E. There's definitely things we can do around the verifier report versioning and add extra information.
Yeah, maybe we can also consider this with the error message as Akash mentioned together. Yeah, so that we have the flexibility, right? We have a short message showing what's the results, and also we have another section provide more verbose information.
Yep. Thanks for also having the documentation link, Kash. E, would you be able to help review the keyless cosine documentation as well as just like have a walkthrough at the overall experience?
Yeah, sure, I will do that.
Yeah, thanks. Is this mostly complete, Akash? I wonder if it's still have additional sections that needs to go in.
It's mainly complete. I was waiting on the implementation PR to go
Yep.
out of draft mode, but this morning I moved it out of draft mode, so I'll make this publish it as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, I just want to confirm this kit is about the OIDC
Yes, correct.
support. Okay.
So it
And
adds
also,
the identity and the OIDC issuer fields.
Okay, and we also have this transparent log and customized Rego URL, right?
Yes, so this adds the transparency log flag, the recore URL flag, as well as the certificate transparency log flag as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I will take a look at this document.
Yeah, just noticing Feynman posted a message. There's error message handling guidance accepted in notation yesterday. Could have a similar one to standardize the verification. Yeah, thanks for that info, Feynman. The next PR ready for review is proposal for periodic retrieval. I think we left some comments on the PR already, but I haven't had a chance to review your comments, E. Is there anything you'd like to discuss on this call? But we'll follow up on the comments too.
So in general, I think for this PI, the purpose is that user do not need to specify versions or each time they update the versions. I think the complex part is that, for example, if user rotate a version, right, there will be two versions. So there will be a period and the old version still are required for verification, so that from Ratify point of view, we may need to keep an up-to-date list. So I think these are the complex parts. And from your point of view, so it will not be a good experience. They maintain the version by themselves, and normally the certificate and the key will be rotated regularly. This is the security best practice. So so I just share the background for this, and also maybe extend something that's originally Josh's issue did not cover. So maybe it is a bit more requirement than the original Josh's issue.
Yeah, I see there's a lot of discussion on the PR. We probably, I personally need more time to review all the comments. I wonder if you're available to walk through this PR in more depth in the PR review meeting. Does it completely conflict with your other meetings, or do you have half an hour?
I think it's completely overlapping with Notar project.
I see.
Yeah.
No problem. We will go through the comments, and if needed, we can schedule a separate half an hour call to get everyone together on a call to discuss this, or we can schedule some time next community meeting to walk through this in more detail. Does that sound good?
Yeah. I think we can firstly offline try to address the comments as many as we can. Then we can also have an online session for further discussion.
Yeah, sounds good. And Josh, I've also commented to invite you to review the proposal, because this PR is related to the auto rotation of the secrets.
Yeah, I got that. I'll definitely read through the comments as well offline. I think that, yeah, there's probably two scenarios, because the one that I ran into was if you redeploy the Helm chart, it won't refresh the certificate and the permissions and stuff, but it ties in the same, I believe it'd be the same mechanism that we'd want for the retry. So I'll definitely review and attend the meeting so I can be part of that conversation.
Thank you. And there's some technical details on like what level should the default interval, should it be per provider, per resource, or at a global Ratify level? It will impact how we design the periodic fetch or the periodic refresh. So definitely have your opinion there. It would be helpful.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry. One more thing. Josh, you also mentioned just now. You mentioned a scenario. That one is not. At least for now, was not written in the scenario. So please also review if there are other scenarios not covered in this PR. Maybe we can consider add it.
Okay, will do.
Thank you.
Next one, 1519, cherry pick changes from dev to the release 1.2 branch. So Binbin was able to cherry pick the ECR change, Xinghe's test fixes, and the CVE changes, Akash. So that's the 4 that we have. Binbin, Akash, Juncheng, just checking, do we have additional PRs to cherry pick, or are we good to merge? I think all the requirements are passing. Yeah, it looks like it's ready.
Was there, when was the last AKS test run done? Because I just ran it locally well, not locally, but on my fork this afternoon, and I was seeing failures from the dev branch. So I'm not sure maybe we checked in something, or My understanding was that the failures were related to Azure Key Vault CLI having a little bit of a different behavior now with the latest upgrade, in terms of it not supporting the, I think, deprecated Key Vault policy that we currently use to assign key and secret permissions. But I'm not sure if it's just my branch or it's all of the branches that are affected here.
I see, I see.
I think we can rerun the test in syspr to double confirm.
Sure, let me kick that off right now. So the list is shorter than I expected. Yeah, this one is the one that I want. And we just want to do a rerun job, is that correct?
Yes.
This run was actually very good. Only one failure in the AKS, surprising.
Oh, actually, I rerun the failed test once.
I see. Okay, I think Akash, we did take a bunch of dependable updates into the dev branch, which was not cherry picked into the release branch. But we'll see how this run goes. Okay, so we'll let that run. Um, 1520, it's work in progress. Binbin, do you have anything you want to discuss?
Yeah, actually, it's almost ready. I just need to update the descriptions. And so for this PI, I added one more attribute to our matrix, which is just a workload namespace. So that's the namespace we deploy, or we validate the images. And I also added a new like Grafana template, which will include the namespace field. So the PI is quite like straightforward.
Yeah, thank you. Just wondering, do we have a doc for setting up Grafana with the metrics?
Yes, we have one. And also once this merged, I will update the doc with the multi-tenancy scenario.
Exciting. Yeah. Thank you, Binbin.
It would be good to have a screenshot for the Grafana dashboard with
Oh,
the
yes. I have
multi-tenancy.
one.
Yeah.
I will
If you have
continue.
the screenshot, feel free to share it with Josh, who is prepared for the announcement blog post. That would be very attractive for people.
Yeah, thank you.
But this namespace to metric work item is for 1.3, correct?
Right. This is not for 1.2.
Oh, okay. So the Grafana dashboard and the related metrics will not
But
be.
for the Grafana dashboard, we already have one, but it's not for the multi-tenancy scenario.
Yeah, so multi-tenancy metrics is not shipped in 1.2, to clarify, Feynman.
Okay, so there's no any fresh Grafana dashboard that we can capture in 1.2. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah. Binbin, do you know where is the walkthrough for the metric
It's
setup?
on the reference, and it should
Instrumentation.
be in yes. So that should be a setup. If you scroll down to this is the setup.
I see. I was just saying if we already have a Grafana screenshot somewhere already.
Oh no, I remember the Grafana screenshot was in the PR that Akash made. So maybe we
Okay.
can add a screenshot in this doc.
Yeah, got it. But with the newly added documentation for multi-tenancy, Feynman, we will have more detailed steps for the dashboarding.
Okay, I see. Thank you, Susan and Bingbing.
Next PR 1521. Thanks for the review, Akash. I think there's one conversation we had was, do we want to run this for every PR regardless of the release branch? So I think it's because the scan for the vulnerability and Trivy, it's about 3 minutes. So I think it's okay to run it for every PR. What do you think?
Yeah, if it's not too much overhead, then I think that sounds good. Just one follow-up question on that. Does the actual report get uploaded anywhere or consumed by anything, or is it just run and then used only in the workflow?
So my observation is if the job failed, it'll be a PR blocker. But if it passes, then good question on where does the report go? So I included a sample run. Let me have a look at that. So see sample scan result here, and there's just seeing if there's any attachment. So there is step security report, view full report. But that, I think this is from the hardener. It's not from the Trivy scan, right?
Is that just adding in a trivia action to the workflow?
Yes. So basically, we reference the gatekeeper vulnerability scan workflow. So in there, they have this job that runs the step security harden runner. I think in the beginning, it won't just say something went wrong. It's kind of in the initial runs, it'll set up the baseline. But if there's something in the new PR that have unexpected ingress or egress, it'll flag it. And then this job downloads Trivy and run it on the repository on the image that we built locally for the CRD and the Ratify image. So it's a pretty simple job.
Awesome. My experience with Trivia is it won't upload to the workflow. There's some craftiness you can do to get it there, but it'll just output. You can output to JSON or output mostly to JSON or some kind of file, but then you'd have to upload it as an artifact. There isn't a nice little tab or anything that it'll add into.
And Josh, when you say when it uploads, where does the report where does it get stored? Is it the GitHub run, or is it with because our image is like the local build image?
So if you output it, it would be a local file on the runner, and then it would display it in the terminal. So if you went and looked at your steps, it would show you the results there. There are other actions that you can add in that would grab that file and put it into kind of this portal as an artifact. I'm not sure where it would put it in the UI. But typically that's all you'll see is this output right here. Unless you do
like
something.
This, right?
Yep.
The installed version severity.
Right. Yep. So you could take that and save it to a file and do something with it. By default, it's just going to be right here.
Yeah, we're gonna have it as a PR gate to start.
Oh, that works perfectly fine. So then, yeah, if it passes, continue. If it fails, stop and review.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any plans to shove copacetic in there?
Yeah, we can. So
Just curious. No obligation.
yeah, we'll evaluate that. Thanks for the suggestion.
No problem.
So, so Susan, just to confirm this, once the report is generated in the workflow, there's like some parsing mechanism that checks to see that the vulnerabilities aren't above like some sort of severity threshold or something like that? Is that how it determines if the workflow fails or succeeds?
I see. Yeah, I haven't scanned it on a build with vulnerability, but that's a good point. Josh, do you know if
Would you
there is
open the workflow file?
configuration? Yep.
Yeah, so there's stuff with the Trivy CLI, you can specify what you care about to fail, and you can kind of set the fail condition, or you can bypass it all and absorb the artifacts. If you look at the run, it'll probably kind of tell you what it's looking for. Unfixed vulnerabilities. So if there are any, I don't think there's a severity, so you could add a severity switch, which would limit them. And it also looks like I'm not too familiar with the repository run, but definitely with the image run, you'd have to set the error condition to exit if it found vulnerabilities. Otherwise, right now it'll just tell you a report. I think that's the default behavior. So you can, there's a dash like severity, I think is the switch or flag, and then you can set
Yep.
high, so you only care about those. And then you can set the error condition, so you can do dash exit code 1. So if it finds any vulnerabilities, it will stop the build.
Yep. And Akash, so what do you think what is our action item for this medium leveled severity here?
So it would be manual
Bump up.
upgrade. Yeah.
I see.
But
Yeah, good cause. Yeah, go ahead.
I think this ties into what we saw before with another, I think with the ECR package upgrade. There's a little bit of gray area right now in terms of when does Dependabot actually bump these minor versions for us? Because we do have it set up to do it. But I think if another package depends on a previous version or the currently installed version, and you're not bumping that package version, or it doesn't have an equivalent bump, then I think you need to, Dependabot may not send the PR to update that package version. That's my current hypothesis.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe that's why there hasn't been this a Dependabot PR to update this version.
ECR. Yep. Oh, okay.
Or even this one, right? We would have expected, unless this
Yeah,
just
4
showed up.
versions.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, well, we can discuss offline, Akash. But definitely, I think for the workflow update, we can configure a error condition that no severity greater than medium. Like medium is a fail. Is that what we want, Akash Binbin?
I don't know. I guess so. What is
Josh, what do you recommend?
I've seen most people do high, and a lot of people
Okay.
do critical, just because there's a lot of noise with those.
Yep.
But I did put the command, if you want it to fail the build, when it detects that certain level, there's the command in
Yep.
there for at least the images. I assume it would be very similar for the code base as well. But you'll want to add that dash exit code 1 and then the severity. The
Yep.
downside with that is it's also not going to show you, it's only going to scan for that and higher. So if you do
Oh.
severity high, it won't show you medium in this report here. So you could do a different run to just show all results and then one that would actually kill the build.
Yeah.
The benefit though, the run will be way quicker the second time because it doesn't have to load the vulnerability database locally.
Got it. Thanks for the tip, Josh. And I think we have one more PR. It's to do with the AKV E2E test, isn't it, Akash?
Yeah, this is just migrating us to use RBAC for Key Vault.
Yep, we'll be able to take a look. Especially that it's blocking a dev branch. Thanks for taking care of that. Cool. So that's everything in the repository. Let me quick check on the web repo. Okay. Yep. We don't have any new PRs there. So Akash, you will make this public, and we'll invite you to review the customer scenario for keyless.
Sounds good.
Thanks. Back to our agenda. We've already talked about v1.2 release. We are waiting to validate the AKS test status, and then we're ready to cut the branch. Cool. Any other items to discuss, anyone? Yeah, we went through everything pretty quickly today then. We'll get our 20 minutes back then. Thanks for joining, everyone.
Thank you. See everybody.
I'll
Thank
send you
Thank you,
those
everybody.
links, Josh.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.